Hello, Frank here from Data Driven Impact Quantum Podcast and franksworld.com. Let me throw up my URLs. Oh, that sounds bad. Throw up the URLs. Don't worry about me. I'm not sick. I just have weird bout of allergies. I am happy to be back online and streaming because this is the craziest week of the year for me, and not just because it's Christmas. You see, I have two kids with two December birthdays just about back to back. So it really is the wildest week of the year. Um, uh, and wanted to kind of talk a couple of things. One, this interesting thing called Magic Quest. And if I were to look it up online, don't worry, I'll share my let's see, Magic Quest. There we go. All right. Let's I need more coffee ultimately. This is what I really need. So, here we go. So this is if you've not heard of this, it's Magic Quest. And I want to go to Magic Quest Great Wolf Lodge. So one of the things that they have at the Great Wolf Lodge. Great Wolf Lodge is an indoor water park and such. So every year, pandemic willing, we take the kids there for their birthday. It's great if you have little kids. There's a number of locations all around the U.S. This one happens to be Wisconsin, but we were in Williamsburg, and you see this all over the place. There's one in Canada, Northeast, Midwest, et cetera, et cetera. And what's cool about this is that they have this game called Magic Quest. And what's interesting about Magic Quest, let's see, can I go back here? There we go. So this is what's interesting about Magic Quest is that it basically kind of proves out something Arthur C. Clarke said, and one of my favorite quotes of all time, which was man, I really do need coffee. Note to self: drink a lot of coffee before I live stream. Um, Ultimately, what I'm trying to say here is that I don't want to sign up for exclusive deals. It's a bit like Vegas. You go there and it's like first day or two is fun, and then after a while you're like, okay. All right. So back on track, back on focus. What's really cool about this is that Magic Quest is this really proves out what Arthur C. Clarke said, where the indus sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And what they do actually, it's really clever. So it's this whole fantasy thing, and people get really into it. They sell cloaks, they sell like it's basically kind of live action role playing or LARPing. See, you can buy like the cloaks and stuff like that. But the key part of it here is the wand, and you see the wand that's there actually has an IR emitter or infrared emitter that will send a couple of things. And I look through online Magic Quest. Not hacking in the sense of bad, but basically, um, um, a lot of documentation, a lot of people kind of reverse engineering it so they could do kind of fun things with it. So ultimately, what it is that you point your wand at something and it'll interact with you. And you collect gold coins, you collect various things on a quest and things like that. And it's interesting because how it brings together the experience of how they bring together the experience of this immersive environment um, and in a way that I think merges Internet of Things and entertainment experience. I wouldn't quite say it's quite metaverse, but there's definitely kind of a mixed reality aspect to it. Not in the traditional sense of, you put something on and you see something else. But it's a creative use of basically 90s tech. I mean, nothing in there is kind of crazy Oculus or whatever, but it's an interesting use of existing technology, whether that's um infrared kind of, sensors and things that light up when you point at it. It's really cool. And like once you get into it and there's a whole leaderboard, and I think it's brilliant that they place it in a lot of these Great Wolf Lodges because there's only so much time you can spend at a water park. And it's cool because it gets the kids to run around. And I think I had my Fitbit on and I got 20,000 steps per day because you just basically split across three different floors and you have to go to here, collect this, and collect that. It's really cool. Some of the things they have are interactive screens. Some of them are uh, physical things that you pull a sword out of a stone and things like that. You point at it with your wand. It's really cool, actually. And what's interesting is that there's a whole maker community trying to figure out how they can kind of take the wand because it would be kind of cool to like have stuff at home where you can like turn on the TV or whatever. Um, and but it's an interesting use of technology that I just found it because it does make it quite very immersive. And it is really cool. You'll see. Here's an example, right? So if you point at this wand, this chest will open, like, you know it's a chest of gold, and that amount is put right to your account. So me being the data nerd that I am, I was just wondering how quickly do these things update. So all throughout the lodge they have these little interactive kiosks, um and they have these interactive kiosks where you kind of check your account. So, unbeknownst to me, my older son was like, while I was looking at my account, and it shows you like your gold and stuff like that, he actually took it and behind one of these there was this gold thing, and I got 300 gold. But he noted, and I'm so proud, it's a proud dad moment. He noted that the update on my screen didn't change. It didn't update. And I thought that was interesting. So I exited the portal because you can end your session and I rejoined, then it showed. So that tells me two things. One, it's pretty close to real time. I tested it out. So if you shake your wand at the thing, it says, "Oh, you have 300 gold now. You found 300 gold." And then you go back and you go to the screen, almost instantaneously does it update. So one of the things I read somewhere in this uh, hacking forum, I think it was on, yeah, oddly enough, it might have been here. It was like on Stack Exchange. Ultimately, what happens is they figured out, I think this is it, is that it sends out a code. It sends kind of from what somebody was able to reverse engineer. Hey, Thomas, how's it going? Yes. That is an average conference day. That is true. Um, but at conferences, I tend not to take the stairs, although it's a lot faster to do it at Great Wolf Lodge. So I actually, plus some of the slides are like 4 or 5 stories up. So I think I logged 24 stories one day. But yeah, it is. But in the absence of going to conferences, it's a good thing. It's a fun time with the kids. So one of the things that somebody had reverse engineered, and I'll find the links. I definitely want to kind of dive into this, but ultimately, looks like they lost the domain name. That's interesting. Um, what's interesting is what actually happens is that it sends some kind of handshake thing where it says it announces itself, and then it shows a then it broadcasts a unique identifier, and then it sends an ending signal. That's basically what people reverse engineered off of it. So I took remote control and kind of like, fired at some of the sensors, and you could see it lights up that it recognized it, but it probably was just noticed it as junk. But it was interesting because it appears that it does it fairly quick to real time. Now, what I don't know is do they share things in real time across other Great Wolf Lodge locations? My instinct is that they don't because at least not in real time because no one's going to be in Williamsburg Virginia, and then in the next 10 minutes show up the same wand up in, I think there's one in New England, Thomas. Um, and any one of these other locations, right? So what is interesting is that it does update it right away, and these kiosks do you have access to the most recent data pretty quickly. So I think is what that tells me is that there's pretty good kind of on-site kind of updates and things like that. There are Ethernet cables that kind of go back that connect a lot of these little things, these each individual items. What's cool is that they have the various places we get to kill a dragon or whatever, and there's this whole like you know treasure and stuff like that. It's super cool. Um, does the light turn blue when the orcs are nearby? No, it doesn't. But what's interesting, that would be cool if they were to do that. Um, I get the sense that some of the things there are starting to show their age, but kids don't care. It is pretty cool. They actually have another thing now that's kind of like a Pokemon style thing where you have to capture these some kind of totems or something like that. Um, and Yeah, so this is cool. So basically, Great Wolf Lodge is somewhere you go with your entire family. So if you have kids of different ages, obviously they're going to be into different things. And you'll just see kids like pointing around and just pointing at everything there. And hidden throughout the lodge, they actually have little things that will animate once you wave at it. And so it's always a cool game to see like, hey, will that animate and things like that. The hotel has um couple of like stuffed animals or something like that you point at it and it'll do that. There's statues of a bear that will light up its eyes and start talking. Doesn't animate, but you hear the audio to it. It's just a cool thing that very creative use of um technology. And again, this really isn't you know as technologists we tend to overcomplicate things, and we tend to make it seem like you have to have these VR. Hey, good evening, Dr. Good Gautam, how's it going? We need to reschedule a podcast with you. The other thing that's been going on is that my mom passed away late November, so I've been kind of spending a lot of time kind of clearing out her affairs and things like that. So you may have noticed that I've been not as active online or social media as I normally am. It's just been a lot, plus the kids and their birthdays and holiday, Christmas and things like that. Today is the first day I really had a chance to kind of catch my breath, and even then I have to go and get a nicer shirt on and go to a meeting today. But it's really cool how this works. Very low tech kind of approach. It's basically IR receivers, probably something like an ESP, was it 86 chip? I mean, not really anything crazy. It would just, but I'm curious to know what's the back end data story. It's probably some kind of relational store. It'll credit your account. It keeps track of what quest you're on, and what's interesting is that I don't think the application. I just got a gut feeling that this is WPF. I can't shake it. It's probably not, but it just seems like it would be a WPF application. And I really like it because it's just it's a fascinating, fun thing to do. And it would be cool if like tech conferences had this, like, like you could like shake your wand or something like that, or use a smartphone. I don't know. And it's not really that complicated. Like it's just pretty basic stuff. Um but the way they've done it and the way they've dressed it up, it just if you're a kid, it's just magical. Again, getting back to one of my favorite quotes is that the um significantly advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Speaking of magic, um If you've seen some of the videos that I produce, you'll know that I have some pretty cool graphics. Um, some of it's After Effects, but a lot of it isn't actually. So you can try this software, entirely cloud-based. It's called Videos, and this is something that I generated on a previous live stream, and I should be able to just drag and drop it. So you can try it out for $1 for 12 days. Hurry up though, the special is ending December 23rd. If you use the link down there, I get credit. I'm not really in for it for the money. I really just want to get the special, super cool, exclusive template kit, and I'm only one away. And you could be the one that puts me over the edge. At one point, I was on top of the leaderboard, but again, you know, I had to kind of sign off for the week because it's been chaos. And it was good too to get the kids away from kind of dealing with grandma passing away, and it was good for me too, honestly. Um, so there's a number of videos you can make here. Let's see what do we got here. The best thing about this though is that you can also download kind of the animated GIF or GIF if you prefer, and post that to social media, which I've noticed anecdotally that they tend to get more traffic than the videos these days, at least on LinkedIn. Depends on really the platform and what that algorithm for said platform is doing. But if I find any more information about folks that have kind of customized Magic Quest wands or whatnot, I will definitely share that. It's definitely one of those things where I got an Arduino laying around, I got a Raspberry Pi or two laid around, and it'd be cool to do something creative. Would be really cool is like set up Christmas lights or something like that, where you can do like the turn on and stuff like that. I don't know, that'd be interesting. And it's just an IR receiver. This is 80s tech IR type stuff. Probably the thing that makes it more, I guess the only thing that's really stored in the wand is a unique identifier, which I guess if you could read that, you can have some interesting. I wonder how they secure it though, like in all seriousness, or how much of a problem that is. I don't know. But Thomas, I hope you're doing well. Hope that the holiday season's treating you right. You too, Dr. Gautam. We definitely need to reconnect and get you on the Impact Quantum podcast. Got a couple of guests lined up. Love to have you in that mix. And I think personally, it's that time of year where people start making predictions for the next year. I think quantum computing is going to be even more important in 2022. I read some articles while I was away, even though I should have stayed off the screen. That there's been a couple of interesting advances in error correction, which the short of it is that quantum computers are just very prone to collecting errors, whether that's from noise from nearby or cosmic rays. Even turns out measuring subatomic particles is far from an exact science. Um, Although I suppose someone will write in the comments that subatomic physics is not really an exact science anyway. So you can imagine that there's definitely some kind of math to kind of counteract that to make error correction uh the type of thing that we really don't have to think about it in regular computer science these days. In fact, I don't even think they teach it anymore in comp sci or typical curricula. But it's pretty cool, I have to say. I have to read that with the papers and stuff like that. Like I said, I definitely need to get going soon and have some more coffee. And then maybe I'll stream later today. I don't know. Franksworld.com has been going. And hey, Thomas. Oh, Maine is beautiful. Oh yeah. That sounds cool. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of that beach, but Maine is probably very beautiful this time of year. Maine is probably very beautiful. Yeah, I totally need to drink more coffee. You are correct, sir. Um, but yeah, Maine's probably very beautiful this time of year with the trees and the snow. Um, I love going up to Maine in the summer, especially because it's nice and it's a little warm, but it's not hot, oppressively humid, and like it is here in DC. Um, I may have to hit you up for recommendations for where to get a good cup of coffee up there. Although when my wife and I went to Portland, Maine, there was a really cool diner. I forgot the name of it, but there was like a line outside of it, and they had awesome pancakes. But Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing. This um, Magic Quest, and you will see that once again I am publishing on the blog. Last time was December um, 15th is the last time I posted until this morning. I got 3 blog posts up already. Still tracking towards hitting 100 posts at a minimum. If I catch up today to 100, um, I'll still be at 5 posts per day, which is a pretty solid benchmark. For those of you that are watching, you know what? I will share this screen. Main Diner. I think it might have been. That sounds familiar. Um, Main Diner. Oops. Go here. I think that was it. There was a lot of little quaint little places, and I hope they're still around post pandemic. You watch Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives, and you're like, oh, I hope they're still there. Um, I totally forgot what I was going to say. Now I'm thinking pancakes, Thomas. Now I'm thinking pancakes. I got off my diet too, my keto diet, while I was away. So it's time to get back onto the grind. Be ready for 2022. Be ready to rock 2022. The best time to plan 2022 is now, not in 2 weeks or so. What was I going to say? I was going to share. Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you, Dr. Kuhn. Quantum Realm. Keto is hard to keep up. Yeah, I mean, it is hard to keep up, but for me at least, once I'm kind of in the groove, I'm in the groove for months at a clip. Once I fall off the groove, it's a little hard to get back on. But um, I feel great on it. Like I don't get migraines on it. I don't feel sore or anything like that. That's actually a cool idea, kind of finding out and mapping where he goes. I like that idea. I wonder if there's an open data set already with that. Now I have a holiday project, Thomas. That's awesome. And thank you for your kind message, Dr. Gautam. I really appreciate it. Hit me up on email or instant message, and we'll get you scheduled for another thing because there's a lot to unpack with quantum and kind of things like that. But I like that idea, Thomas. I really like that idea. Like I said, I gotta go. I gotta go get a nice shirt on and probably even comb my hair because I have a meeting I gotta jump to. In person, believe it or not, like it's like 2019 or something. So thank you everyone for jumping on live. I want to thank you, Thomas. Thank you, John. Thank you, Dr. Gautam. And thank you. Thanks for stopping by and taking some time out of your day to watch me live. If you're not watching live, leave a comment below. I always do try to respond. And you have a good one too, Thomas. Enjoy the trip to Maine. Maine is beautiful. Might be a tad cold, but it is very beautiful. I would imagine you should take some pictures and post them. I would imagine that it'll look nice. Plus, it's good to disconnect for a while, which I was able to do for the most part. All right, everyone out there, you have a great day, and I'll see you